So, touching on, obviously, you were saying around influencers, coaches, people jumping on the bandwagon of bodybuilding very, very quickly and then jump back off again. What would you say are kind of the negative consequences? Because we've seen a lot recently around, well, quite a lot of negative consequences. People like passing away young, unfortunately, severe acne, things like that. Like, what would you say are some of the more negative consequences around that, would you say?
I think everyone these days seems to be looking for a quick fix. They're not willing to put the time in that's needed. You know, if you look back, I started training when I was 21, 22, 37 now. It's, 15, 16 years consistently training, and it takes a long time to build muscle. I think now there's, again, we've touched on some of the positives and negatives of social media. There's also a lot of incidents now where there's more information on steroids or supplements and that weren't really available. The information wasn't available when we were starting out. I remember when I joined the gym, like we bought protein shake, we got Maxi Muscle.
Yeah, Maxi Muscle.
Back in the day, do you remember that?
Yeah, the silver tub.
Pro-Lax, the Cyclone. And we got creatine, me and my brother, and we were so excited to get on that. And we thought we were great, we were massive. So whereas now there's guys,
It works.
and now I have regularly got young lads in the gym, 17, 18, coming up to me and asking me about steroids. And it's funny because they don't know I want to talk to me about training, they don't want to talk about food. The initial thing they want to bring up is steroids. And they don't realise that, especially at that age, they're still growing, they're still developing, and natural hormones are increasing at that time. And when you take stuff like that, it suppresses your natural testosterone, your hormones. So why would anyone, when they're naturally increasing, when you can get results when you from that age naturally, why would you shut down your natural production to put synthetic stuff in? And what these guys don't realise, because none of them are, they're too lazy to actually research and look into it, that for every single positive there is with taking things like that, you better believe there's 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives that come alongside that, short and long term. Unfortunately, last year I lost a friend of mine who had a cardiac arrest, and he was 26 years old, and he's just a baby, and he'd only he'd incredible physique, lovely guy, and he'd only been taking gear for a little bit of time over for a short period over a year. So it wasn't long-term abuse that had done it. So these guys need to be aware the things that they're doing has an impact on their short and long-term health. And I look back at DM, and we used to banter and joke around, and would send a meme about tren or something, and we'd find it hilarious and be laughing about it and up in dosage and stuff. And then suddenly when he passed away, you look back on their messages and you read them and you think they're not so funny anymore. And for me as well, it certainly for me had an impact there to be more aware of my responsibility of what I put out and how it can influence people. I would post a funny meme about tren or something, not realising that 16, 17, 18-year-old guys that are coming to our gym are seeing that, and they think, well, Neal's, they're laughing and joking this call, it's a thing to do, and that can influence them. So, for people like us, that we have a responsibility to make sure stuff like that we put out is not giving them the wrong information and making them think that this is a good path for them to go down. So for me, it was definitely one thing that I made a decision that I would never post anything like that on socials again. And so my advice is, when I do have young kids that come up to me in the gym and ask is just stay away from it. Unless you're looking to compete and you're willing to dedicate yourself to your training and put the time in and sacrifice your social life, sacrifice family events, relationships even. Unless you're willing to do that, then forget about it. Stay natural. If you're doing it to just look good in a bar or whatever, then you can do that.
This is what I was gonna touch on is, and you go back to, I don't know, even like 20, 30 years ago, majority of people that would touch steroids gear, whatever you want to call it, would be people that want to be bodybuilders, right? You didn't have that many people that just wanted to look good jump on the bandwagon. And I think that is probably one of the biggest situations right now when it comes to social media, is again, they're influenced by not even bodybuilders, just influencers that look like that, and then they're like, oh, that's how I should be looking if I go to the gym. And also I think a lot of 16, 17 year olds up to like 20, they don't understand that you can look great natural anyway. You might not look bodybuilder level, but you know, give it again 5, 10, 15 years in the gym, you're gonna look great.
Yeah.
And I think that, like you were saying, they want that shortcut. Instead of putting, you know, I've been training 12 years as well, like instead of training for years and years and years to build whatever physique they can get naturally, they're like, oh no, I can jump on this. In 2-3 months, I'll get a little bit bigger. And then even still, I mean, a lot of the people we see in the gym that are on them a lot of the time, they don't even look that great because they're not training on the nutrition. So they've gained a bit of muscle, but that muscle they've gained, they could have just gained naturally anyway if they actually just trained and did nutrition properly.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like you said, but it's not even that they're listening to people that are educated of knowledge, because they're actually guiding them in the right way. They listen to idiots in the gym. Listen to guys that don't have a clue themselves. And they're saying, yeah, take this, this will get you big, this will get you great results and stuff. So listen to idiots that actually have no clue about what they're talking about. And like you said, you'll see guys and they'll take all this gear and it'll never change how they look. They'll look the exact same. And the first thing they'll always do is, the gear's crap.
Yeah, it's a bad dose. It's not the right thing.
It's never anything that they're doing that is not getting results. If they want to get results from what they were doing previously, training naturally, eating the right food, why is suddenly taking the gear going to get them the results? Because, like I said, if you put a list of 5 things, the most important on how to build the best physique or build a good physique, number 1, you'd say genetics. Number 2, number 3, you could swap them over, but it's food and training.
Yeah.
Number 4 would be, without doubt, rest and recovery.
Recovery, massive.
And then number 5, you'd probably steroids. Like that, but you can get great results with them 4.
Yeah.
Alone, you don't need the 5th. Like, that one on its own isn't going to do anything. So if any of these are missing, you can take all the others, the gear in the world, and it's not going to do anything. But guys aren't willing to listen to that and take that kind of information on, because someone's promised them a shortcut that will again cause them problems further down the line.
Just sad, man. Just sad. Anything else you wanted to touch on?
I think, like you said, it's just the false information. Like you said, like idiots or people selling it in the gyms or trying to give it to these young kids because it's a quick fix. They, get the boost they want in the gym for the first year, maybe, but there's no education. Like you said, if you haven't got the first 4 steps, why jump into the 5th? It's the same as what we said before about setting the goals. What is your goal? If you want to look good, get looking good first. Find your genetic potential. Are you sleeping well? Are you resting well? Are you actually doing phases? Are you bulking? Are you cutting? If that's all working and you can say you've dedicated your life to it, then you look for the next enhancement, right? And if that's not there, I think you're right in saying people need to be educated in how to take it, when to take it, keep it safe, and why are you taking it, most importantly.
Exactly that. We all know the risks, but we almost think that will never happen to us. We're not, so when it actually happens to someone that you see every day, you spend time in the gym, you train together, it's a big eye-opener. We're all aware of the risk that we take, but again, we need to make sure that we're doing as much as we can to limit and monitor ourselves, to make sure that we're trying to stay as safe as possible, getting your blood work done, doing an annual ECG test, to make sure that your heart's fine, and again, reducing the amount of time you're on cycle and the amount of stuff that you're using, and again, but eventually, what I say to everyone is that devil will come and collect.
You can catch up with you, but you just want to pull it off, right? You want to keep yourself safe for as long as possible.
Try and keep as healthy as you can.
Yeah.
Get the best results with the
Absolutely.
It's always been the goal.
Yeah, man. I think before we wrap it up today, something that we want to try and make a consistent thing with every guest is just some quick fire questions, starting with what we did on episode 4, which is your top 3 and least 3 favourite exercises. So let's start with your top 3. Have you got anything in mind?
I've always been more of a press. Enjoyed pressing more than pulling.
That double chest of yours.
Yeah. So I do. I love it. I put a lot of focus on my incline chest. For me, that's was a big area that I needed to work on. So incline press, shoulder press would be a bit of a cop out because it's close to an incline press.
So we're taking incline press number one.
Incline press.
That's the one, yeah.
I love a side lateral. You'll know that from training delts. I'll hit it every angle.
Drop set of 50s each.
Side lateral is for me. And it's an exercise I've grown, used to hate, but I've grown to gradually love it. And that is, for me, I'd actually switch that. I'd pendulum squat throw in when I grow. But again, for me, one of the most things I've been doing was adductors and adductors. So for me, my biggest weakness on the last shows was I didn't have the fitness in my legs, and it was an area that I did neglect. We'd always train, we'd always have the quads, we always have the hamstrings, we didn't have the fitness. That was from not training adductors and abductors. And weirdly now I've grown to love it, because before my ability and my flexibility was so bad I could barely get into the machine. Now we're fully using it.
As you get out a little.
Yeah. So it's actually an area I've really grown. Again, for me, that's the key to...
You've actually grown and forced yourself to like them, and it's only benefiting you as well.
Weaknesses, and that's what bodybuilding's about. You can take the weakest muscle group and you can make it one of your strengths.
Sure.
Top 3 least favourite?
Least favourite... I'm going to say...
Cardio.
Definitely walking lunges because of my brittle knees. Anything with calves.
Yeah, no calf raises.
I just give up on calves. Plus I tore it trying to run.
Cardio.
Cardio is cardio.
So you've got walking lunges cardio, we've got calf raises you taught doing cardio.
Yes, it has not a bad effect from it. I was literally tore my bloody calf trying to do a relay race. Is that 3?
Nah, 2. You got
That's
one
2
more.
so far. Lunges, calves.
I'm not a big deadlifter, so I kind of stopped it. I get mad pump on my lower back. So yeah, deadlifts is something that I don't do. For me, it's a lot more rows and pull downs and variations of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty simple.
Makes sense.
So the same with me there. Incline press was my
very
favourite,
similar.
and deadlift was one of my least favourite.
I love it.
No box jumps.
No box jumps, the girls' least favourite. Got another question?
So if, for anyone listening, if they are interested, they want to get educated to the right way, follow the right people, if you had to name one person just off the top of your head who people should follow, bar ourselves, who should people go to look for the right information on social media without it being so conflicting or confusing for them?
I mean, I got a lot of my information I'm a big fan of Neal Maher. We've done some of his volume training.
That shoulder workout. I should post that somewhere.
Yeah, so I love Mike Mensah. A lot of his training back in the day was what sort of Dorian took. But yeah, I think Neal Maher is a genius. And again, I'd probably say Dave Palumbo was another one. I used to watch RX Muscle all the time.
Same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Palumbo again, because he's another genius. Like I said, so they're 2 guys I would definitely look up and watch some of them.
Do a bit of research on. Yeah, no, brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Leave me hanging.
Thank you. We'll definitely have you back on again soon.
Definitely. We'll go into a bit more chat and detail because we are close, we do know each other.
Yeah, we've known each other for years, and the reason we got him on the podcast, not just to share his story, but we can chat for bloody hours.
As you can tell.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this going.
Next episode, we have you on, we'll go into some crazy chats.
Yeah.
Look forward to it. Naked. We'll do it naked.
They'll be so lucky.
Cool, man. Thank you, guys. Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube, Spotify, share the love. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.